In today's video, I'll be sharing some interesting and powerful research and studies on relationships and marriage. These studies have been done by some of the world's leading experts and psychologists in relationships. These research have helped millions of people in their relationships and marriage. Now, the fundamentals of any relationship is not your partner, but you. How much aware you are about your emotions, your personality, your childhood. And if you are well aware of how you function and how you pursue a relationship, you can figure out of your partners as well, because you learn to think from their point of view. And this is the aim of today's video. I'll be sharing some powerful studies where you can learn about yourself, about your partner, how to communicate better, what not to do in your relationship, and eventually to have a long and sustainable relationship. First, the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. This is one of the most popular studies. So, what is a love language? It means that we all want to be loved a certain way. Just imagine in your childhood, you were someone who were always showered with gifts. Your parents used to give gifts in every occasion, maybe in every weekends, or what I mean is very frequently. Now for you, gifts means love. Gifts means support. It means care. Now, when you grow up and now you're in a relationship, but your partner doesn't give you any gifts. So for you, gift is equal to love, which means your relationship is lacking love. I know it sounds weird, but it's really powerful. And this is the reason why so many divorces happen, because people don't love their partner in their love languages. Now, why divorce happens? Why people break up? Just like a car runs on fuel tank, we all have a love tank inside us. And when that love tank is filled, the relationship will function well. And how do you fill that love tank? Through love. But when you don't love your partner in their love language, or your partner is not loving you in your love language, the love tank will reduce and become empty. And now it means that you don't feel that love. And eventually it will lead to a breakup or divorce. So how do you fill that love tank? By the right love language. Now, there are a total of 5 love languages. Number 1, receiving gifts. As I mentioned before, some people see gifts as a way of love. Some people love gifts because it shows that the other person cares about me, they value me, I matter to them. So ask your partner if their love language is gifts, or ask yourself if your love language is receiving gifts. And if yes, then you have to communicate your love language to your partner. It's your responsibility. At the same time, ask what's their love language. It doesn't have to be big gestures. A gift means a flower, a small plant, or a small toy. Anything which shows that I'm thinking about you. It doesn't have to be too much or very, very expensive. It just have to be thoughtful. Second, quality time. Now people with this love language value time over anything. So if your love language is quality time, and if your partner doesn't give you time, you will always feel unloved. You will always feel that they don't care. So if your love language is quality time, it means that you want your partner's time. You want your partner's attention and energy. So make sure that you communicate this to your partner. And by quality time, what I mean is not you both watching TV together, but going on dates, going on a walk, and just spending time together to have a meaningful conversation. Third, acts of service. People whose love language is acts of service, they want their partner to actually show some efforts and help them with their task. So suppose if my love language is acts of service, I want my partner to help me with dishes, to help me with my project, to help me with the household work, anything. Basically, I want my partner to help me with the tasks because I feel loved that way. If my partner is not helping me with my tasks, it means that they don't love me. And so if your love language is acts of service, and if your partner love language is acts of service, make sure that you ask them to help you. Or if it's theirs, then help them with their tasks because they will feel loved that way. Fourth, words of affirmation. Now this is my love language. It means powerful words, kind words, inspiring words, random compliments. I love these. So I want my partner to constantly tell me how great I am, how amazing I am through words. So if your partner's love language is words of affirmation, they want you to compliment them randomly. Always encourage them that thank you so much for all the things you do for our family. Thank you so much for being a good listener. Thank you so much for always being there, you look great, you look smart. And just make sure that you are using more positive and encouraging words. They will feel loved that way. Fifth, physical touch. For some people, physical touch, intimacy is a love language. There's nothing wrong with that. If a person has lacked physical touch in their childhood, or if they have received too much physical touch from their parents, they will feel loved that way. So if your partner's love language is physical touch, hold their hands, hug them constantly, kiss them, be there for them, physically close, because they will feel loved that way. Now, you know all the 5 love languages. As I said, your job is to first be aware of yourself and that communicate to your partner. Now, as I said before, your job is to first be aware of your love language. And since now you know yours, it's your responsibility to communicate to your partner that, you know what, I'll appreciate if you will love me this way. And at the same time, get to know theirs so that you can make them feel loved as well. The second research is by the Gottman Institute, which is led by a famous expert called John Gottman. He created this term called magic ratio, and the ratio is 5:1. Now 5 means positive interactions and 1 means negative interactions. It's simple. It means that whenever you have a conflict, whenever you have a fight with your partner, out of 5 interactions, 1 should be negative and 5 should be positive. So reflect on your relationship. Do you have 5 positive interactions on every negative interaction with your partner? Now, I don't mean 5 fights here, but 5 interactions. You can have number of fights, as many fights as you want. But how you interact during those fights? Do you come to a conclusion? Do you feel happier or satisfied after that fight? Do you resolve that? Do you both respect that and acknowledge each other? So reflect on your marriage. What is it? Is it all negative interactions, or is it 5 positive and 1 negative interactions? It means that your marriage is stable. It means that your marriage can be sustained. But if you are having 1 positive and 5 negative interactions during fights, during conflicts, it means that it's not working out for you and you need professional help, or you need to consider being in this relationship. So think about this magic ratio and reflect on your relationship. Third research is also done by John Gottman, and it's called the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. It means that there are 4 negative communication patterns. And if you're having this, if you're communicating to your partner this way, it means that you will end up in divorce, or it means that there are chances of divorce. Now, what are these 4 negative communication patterns? Number 1, criticism. It means attacking your partner's character or personality. Don't do that. Character is everything. I love myself because of my character. So if you question that, I will stop loving myself, and hence I will stop loving you. So character, our personality is really powerful. Let's not question that when it comes to a partner. Second, contempt. It means showing disrespect to your partners through negative words or mockery or eye rolling or hostility. Don't do that. It's very unattractive, and your partner will step back if you do that. Third, defensiveness. It means that playing the victim card to reverse the blame whenever there's a conflict. How many of you do that? Your partner comes to you with a problem. Your partner comes to you with a complaint. And instead of acknowledging and addressing their complaint, you turn the table. Now you are showing yourself as the victim to gain attention and to reverse the blame. This way your partner will feel that their needs don't matter to you and you're focusing on your needs only. Fourth, stonewalling. It means withdrawing from the conflict, withdrawing from the fight whenever there is one, just to avoid negative interaction. Majority of people do that. Your partner is very heated and they are constantly complaining and they are crying, or maybe have a strong complaint from you, but you step back and you kind of escape from the conversation just to avoid negative energy. Your partner will feel unloved and that they don't matter this way. Don't do that. It's very negative and very powerful when it comes to how they feel, and it's very hurtful for them. So see if you can be patient and just talk to them and just listen more, but don't escape from that conversation. Fourth study, that is the most popular in the world. It's called attachment theory by John Bowlby. Now, what is attachment theory? It describes how individuals' emotional bonds are formed and how these bonds influence behaviors in their relationships. It means that the attachment styles we develop early in our childhood that will influence our attachment styles with our partner in our adult relationships. Because once you're aware about your attachment style, once you're aware about your partner's attachment style, what drives your behavior, what drives your emotions, you'll be able to deal with yourself and your partner better, and you'll be able to address the problems better. So total there are 3 attachment styles. Number 1, secure attachment. People with secure attachments are very comfortable with intimacy. They're very comfortable with seeking support from their partner because they believe that they can depend upon other people for love and support. They are very good at open and honest conversation. They are good with maintaining boundaries. They have a very positive view and aspects when it comes to themselves and their partner. Why? Why are these people very emotionally stable in their relationships? Because there are high chances that during their childhood they were given constant and consistent love and care from their parents, from their caregivers. As a result, they believe that they can depend upon other people for love and support. So as a result, these people have long-term relationships. There are chances that these people will not end up in divorce because they are very good at maintaining these bonds. They are very good at emotional support and receiving emotional support. Second, anxious attachment. People with anxious attachment styles tend to crave intimacy and closeness from their partner, but they often fear that their partner will not reciprocate those feelings. They are highly insecure, highly jealous, and they constantly feel that they need validation and reassurance from their partner. But why are these people highly insecure and why do they need constant validation? It means that during their childhood, their parents, their caregivers were occasionally available and sometimes they were distant. So sometimes they were showered with love and attention and care, but sometimes their parents were very distant and emotionally unavailable. Hence, they constantly crave emotional connection with their partner. They constantly crave intimacy and attention from their partner. Because when they grew up and when they saw that they were being loved sometimes, but sometimes they were not being loved, this inconsistency leads to confusion in their mind whether they can rely on someone else for the love or not. Hence, people with anxious attachment are constantly jealous, they're constantly insecure about their partner. They link their self-esteem with their relationships. And so to conclude, these people always have fear in their mind that the love, the attention will be taken away from them and their partner will step back. Hence, they constantly live in that fear. Third, avoidant attachment. People with avoidant attachment withdraw themselves from emotionally charged situation. They're not very comfortable with communicating their needs and feelings to their partner or to someone else. At the same time, they're not very comfortable if the other person is very emotional, if the other person is very sensitive, because they feel uncomfortable in addressing that. Why are some people this way? It means their parents, their caregivers were not emotionally available during their childhood. And so they learned that they have to be on their own and they have to rely on their own for the love, for the support. Hence, these people don't depend upon other people for the emotional support, as they had to learn it by themselves, as they had to manage on their own for the love and support. As a result, these people are the first one to run away from a conversation. Whenever there is a fight, there is a conflict, there is an emotionally charged situations, these people are not comfortable because they never had one with their parents. Their parents were not emotionally available. They never had that long depth conversation with their parents. And so they lack in that area. They might also feel uninterested and emotionally distant at times. So these are the few studies, and I'm sure you got some powerful insights about yourself, about your partner, about your relationships and marriage. As I said before, the first step to any relationship, to a healthier bond, is getting to know yourself, your patterns, your behavior, your emotional understanding. And only then you can understand your partner better. So if you liked this video, if you found this video insightful and powerful, please share this with your partner so that they can learn this too. Also share this with your friends so that they can receive the help they need. At last, thank you so much for taking your time and watching this video. I'll see you next week with a new one. And at last, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Majority of viewers don't subscribe to this channel. But if you do, next time whenever there's a new video, you'll be informed first. And this way we can both learn from each other and stay in this community. I'll see you next week. Thank you.